Hi everyone, we're going to use special factorization and completely factor the following expressions 1, 2, and 3. So we get started, and anytime you see four terms like this, more than likely it's factoring by grouping. So hopefully, we have a plus here, that's nice, this plus here. So what I'm going to do is factor out what I can for the first part, which is just x, and you're going to get x squared minus y squared. And then if I factor out a y on this part, I'm going to get x squared minus y squared. So since these two are the same, we can factor by grouping. So I'm going to group these two together. X plus y times this part. So this is going to be x squared minus y squared. So basically, this is following the distributive property. And now I can also factor this with my difference of squares that we already talked about. So that's going to be x minus y times x plus y. And that's factored completely. And that's it. Now this one, hopefully we don't have to rearrange here. And I'm going to factor. So if I put parentheses around here, now if I put parentheses around here, because of this negative, I had to change this to a negative, because two negatives would make a positive here. Now I can factor out x to the fourth, because they both can be divided by x to the fourth. You get x squared minus 9. And then probably, because this is by grouping, I can, I want this to be x squared minus 9. And that's going to help you if you know it's factoring by grouping. So I'm going to go ahead and try to divide 729 and see if it's going to work. Divided by 81, and I do get 9. So I have the 81 here. Okay, now, since these two are the same, I can group these two together. So I have x to the fourth minus 81 times x squared minus 9. Now both of these are difference of squares, so this one would be x squared minus 9 times x squared plus 9. This one here would be x minus 3 times x plus 3. This one we can't factor anymore, but this one we can. Looks just like this one we just did, so this would be x minus 3 times x plus 3. We still have the x squared plus 9, and then we have a extra, just copy this down. And that's your final factorization. It's completely factored. All right, this one, we can do it two different ways. Let's do what we did before. If I factor this out, I can factor out an x. So I'm going to get x minus 8y. And then I'm going to have this one, when I factor this, that's going to be 4y minus 5 times 4y plus y. And what you notice is these two aren't the same. So we can't factor by grouping, and that's as far as we can go. Now I could try doing this, moving this 25 over here, and then have the minus 8xy plus 16y squared, and see if what happens there. So when I do that, and I put parentheses, I'm going to have to change this to a negative. So this first part is going to be x minus 5 times x plus 5. Now we have a minus here, so I'm going to factor out a negative 8y. So that's going to give you a x. When you factor, we already have the negative out here, so when you factor that out, you're going to get minus 4 or 16 y. All right, and still there's not much we can do. So either of these solutions is correct, and you can't factor it anymore. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.